this. It's a good thing he can edit this. My name is Don Gregory. I invented a product called Hoof-Alive 30 years ago. And just prior to that, I had been shoeing horses professionally for 18 years. I saw about every problem hoof there is in the horse world during that time. And many of these problems, like for instance quarter cracks, sand cracks, water cracks, dehydrated hooves, water-soaked hooves that are waterlogged, hooves that are not growing. Many hoof problems concerned me. So at the same time I brought out the Hoof-Alive, I also brought out this device right here, is the Coronet soaker for the cornets, because the most important part of the hoof, if you're going to renew it and restore it, since a hoof grows from the top down, it does not grow from the bottom up, you need to start at the cornet in order to improve it. This product here, this device, is real simple. It's fleece, and it's got a Velcro and a strap. Now the reason you need this is because up here in the front of the hoof, at the cornet, there's a great deal of blood right here. And what that blood does is this fleece traps that heat from that blood. So when you put this on, you normally, now the Hoof-Alive, if you just put the Hoof-Alive on there, it will go in. But when you put it underneath this traps the blood, the heat from the blood, and causes it to permeate that much better. So that you go clear into what I refer to as a pre-hoof. The infantile lamina that grows the entire hoof capsule. So what I'm going to do is show you in the next couple minutes the easiest, simplest, and fastest way to soak a cornet to where you don't have to be a professional, can follow right behind the most expert farrier, the best veterinarian you can find, and you can literally improve vastly whatever he's going to do to this hoof just with these two tools, the Coronet soaker and the Hoof-Alive. So, but right now we may not actually put any Hoof-Alive on, but I'm going to show you, there's a couple of ways you could do it. I prefer either way actually. You can put Hoof-Alive on here and then do it, or let's just show you. It's really helpful, by the way, to have a hoof stand. Okay, you can start like this. You just wrap it around and just attach it to the Velcro. Then you can take your finger and just put the Hoof-Alive on there, put the Hoof-Alive on here, around there, and then turn it like this and just scoot it down and adjust it if you need to adjust a little bit. Now can you hand me that vet wrap? The vet wrap. Okay, all you need after this is the important part, because you're going to have to figure out how to keep the soaker from scooting up in an hour or two or overnight, and you into the pastern area. You don't want that to happen. I just ran this over the front edge of that hoof. Okay, you're going to do this, and you're going to keep the Coronet soaker clean. You can probably just use half of the vet wrap, and then you just simply tuck it in. Can I borrow your knife again? We'll just go ahead and do it. Here you go. Here you go. And then you can tuck this in wherever you can. Now, after you get it tucked in place, I can't actually find a seam at this exact moment, but let's just do this for a moment. Okay, you take your horse, you turn your horse into a small pen, or preferably a stall with shavings or whatever, somewhere where it's comparatively clean. And you would leave this, depending on what you're doing, whether it's a quarter crack, whether it's you're just moisturizing the cornet so that it'll grow better, or whether there's an injury. That's another place you use this. This product, you'll see on the rest of the website, is good for practically any injury on a horse, especially in the cornet region or the hoof or the leg, whatever. And that's the best way. Once you do that, you just, if it's a quarter crack, you should soak it for 2 weeks overnight. Every 48 hours, you remove the vet wrap, you slide it up again, get your finger, put some more on, slide it back down, re-vet wrap it. If it's just a matter of taking and moisturizing the hoof like once or twice a month, the next day you just take this off, put your cornet soaker back in the plastic bag, and store it there. And there you go. That's cutting edge, best thing in the world you can do for that cornet and the hoof. And that's it. Real simple.
Can we get a close-up of that hoof, if you can bring it?
Do you want it wrapped or unwrapped?
No, leave it wrapped.
Okay.
Just put it back up on the stand,
Okay.
and then what we'll do is I might. You pointed out that you went under the hoof,
Yep.
and I'm just gonna. I'll let it in and segue. Okay, so now
You have to go over the edge of the hoof and or the shoe with just one layer of the vet wrap. Just one layer. Then the rest of it you can just leave on the outside.
Okay.
And that will keep everything clean and keep it in place. If you don't do this, this whole thing will slide up.
Okay.
And you will have lost the benefit of all that blood moisture, that heat, which helps to pull this all in. When you do this, you totally moisturize, saturate, and infuse Hoof-Alive into the growth tissue of what I refer to as the pre-hoof. It's going to be the next hoof. And if you do this, you give it a head start. And pretty soon you'll have the best feet on the horse that he will ever have.